You brush your teeth, sip your coffee, scroll your phone. But one of those harmless habits could be quietly exhausting your heart. After 60, it's not just what you do, it's when and how you do it. Today, I'll show you 5 small morning mistakes that quietly wear down your heart's rhythm day after day. One happens before breakfast, another while you sit, and one, you probably made it this morning. Stay with me, because your heart is still listening. After 60, your heartbeat isn't just mechanical, it's responsive to pressure, to hydration, to silence. Yet most of us follow morning routines that worked in our 30s, not realizing our heart now needs different care. The mistakes don't scream, they whisper. Through dizziness, restlessness, or blood pressure you brush off. But when we notice, we can adjust. Let's walk together through 5 common mistakes your heart might be asking you to reconsider. 1. Coffee before food. You wake up, the kitchen is quiet, and like most mornings, your hand reaches for the mug, warm, familiar, comforting. Coffee feels like a small return to self. But if your stomach is empty, your heart may be paying the price. After 60, cortisol, your body's natural wake-up hormone, is already high. Add caffeine without food, and you trigger a spike, like adding fuel to an already rising flame. This surge tells your heart, speed up, get ready, something's wrong. Blood pressure climbs, heart rhythm quickens, and over time, this morning, jolt becomes morning strain. A 2022 study from the British Medical Journal found that adults over 60 who drank coffee before breakfast experienced a 21% increase in blood pressure in the first hour, not because coffee is bad, but because timing changed everything. Rita, 67, used to feel shaky by mid-morning. Her hands would flutter, her heart would race during simple chores. Doctors checked her thyroid. Her labs were fine. Then one nutritionist asked, "Do you eat before coffee?" She shook her head. "I drink it first thing." The change was simple. Now she eats 1 boiled egg, sometimes just almond butter on a rice cake, fats plus protein slow caffeine absorption. They cushion the cortisol wave, and by the time the coffee kicks in, her system's already stable. Within 2 weeks, her mornings shifted. No jitters, no fog. She told me, "I feel like my body lands more gently." It's not about giving up coffee. It's about creating a soft place for it to land. So, how do you drink your coffee? Does your heart feel calm or restless after the first cup? That might be the clue you've been missing. 2. Skipping morning stretch. The sun rises, your eyes open, but your body stays curled. You sit up, maybe check your phone, maybe shuffle toward the coffee, but something gets left behind, your circulation. After 60, our arteries begin to stiffen. They lose their natural spring. And that stiffness, it doesn't just stay in the legs, it travels inward to the heart. Without movement, blood vessels narrow, resistance builds. Your heart must push harder to move blood through a tighter tunnel. That's why a small stretch, just 2 minutes, can reduce strain more than most realize. A 2021 Mayo Clinic study showed that light dynamic stretching lowered systolic pressure by 7 points in older adults. Not from exercise, not from meds, just from gentle morning motion. Alan, 70, didn't think much of stretching. He'd retired early, no more office desk, no more commutes. But every morning, his chest felt heavy, like something pressing inward. It wasn't fear, it wasn't fatigue, it was vascular tension, arteries starting the day closed. We added a ritual, nothing complicated. Arms up, reach to the ceiling, shoulder rolls, slow and backward, 10 times. Forward fold, bend gently toward your toes. That's it. No mat, no sweat. Just motion that tells the body, we're opening again. 3 weeks later, Alan told me, "I don't get that heavy feeling anymore. I breathe deeper. I feel taller." His blood pressure came down, but more than that, his posture changed. His face softened, like his body stopped bracing for impact. If you usually jump into the day without moving, maybe this is your reminder. Before checking messages, before pouring coffee, ask your body, would you like to open first? Sometimes the heart just needs a little room to begin again. 3. Forgetting to hydrate. You wake, you move, you begin your day. But inside your body, your heart is already working overtime. Why? Because it's pushing thickened blood through narrowed vessels. And it's doing it without water. After 60, your thirst signal weakens. You don't feel parched. You just feel slow, foggy, maybe even a little off balance. But behind that subtle fatigue could be mild dehydration, what doctors call a 1 to 2% fluid drop. It doesn't sound like much, but that's enough to lower blood volume, which forces your heart to pump harder just to maintain the same rhythm. A 2020 NIH study found that seniors who began their day dehydrated showed 18% higher cardiovascular stress markers, even without exercise. It's like trying to squeeze syrup through a straw. The thicker the fluid, the more force required. And your heart, it feels that resistance with every beat. Deborah, 74, didn't think water mattered much. She wasn't thirsty in the mornings, but she often felt dizzy when getting out of bed. Sometimes her head pulsed, sometimes her hands trembled. A friend gave her a simple challenge. Drink a glass of water before anything else. Do it for 7 days. She did. 12 ounces, room temperature, sometimes with a squeeze of lemon. Nothing fancy. By day 4, the dizziness faded. By day 7, her mind felt clearer. Her energy didn't crash mid-morning. She smiled and said, "It's like I stopped drying myself out before the day even started." This isn't about drinking gallons. It's about making hydration your body's first companion. Before coffee, before pills, before emails, 1 glass. That's the signal. What's the first thing your heart receives each morning? What if it was kindness in liquid form? 4. Sitting too long after waking. You've opened your eyes, but have you opened your body? Many mornings begin like this. A soft chair, a quiet room, a phone in hand, and stillness that stretches too long. After 60, that stillness starts to work against you. Not because rest is wrong, but because the heart depends on movement to keep blood flowing upward, from your legs, back home to your chest. Without that signal, circulation slows. Blood pools. Your heart pumps harder to keep things moving. Over time, that pressure creates subtle strain, and in some cases, increases the risk of clot formation, especially after long overnight stillness. The Harvard Aging Study, 2019, found that older adults who remained sedentary for the first hour of the day had 2 times higher risk of developing heart-related issues, even if they exercised later. It's not the workout that matters, it's the first 20 minutes. That's when your circulatory system decides, are we opening or closing today? George, 73, was active. He walked. He even swam on weekends. But every morning, he sat for 90 minutes with the news and his coffee. Then one day, he stood up too fast, and the room spun. His doctor didn't change his meds. He changed his mornings. Now, George does a simple hallway walk. Just 3 minutes, back and forth. Slow steps, sometimes in socks, no pressure. In 2 weeks, he noticed his knees weren't as stiff. His balance steadied. He told me, "It's not exercise. It's more like a greeting to my body." So, what does your morning greet you with? Stillness that hardens the heart, or motion that says, "We're alive again"? Even 3 minutes of gentle movement can speak volumes to your heart before the day even begins. 5. Eating late at night. It's quiet, the dishes are done, you're ready to rest, but then a craving. Just a little something before bed. A few crackers, a piece of toast, maybe something sweet to settle the stomach. Seems harmless. But inside your body, the timing tells a different story. After 60, your digestion slows, your metabolism winds down with the sun, and your heart. It needs night to recover, not to digest. When you eat too close to bedtime, blood flow shifts to the stomach, pulling resources away from heart repair. Worse, nighttime digestion can spike your heart rate. It raises blood pressure and reduces deep sleep, the exact phase your heart relies on to heal. The American Heart Association, 2023, reported that adults over 60 who ate within 2 hours of sleep had 32% more nighttime blood pressure spikes compared to those who finished dinner earlier. And the effects compound, night after night, until morning arrives and your heart feels tired. Maria, 69, had no idea her 9 p.m. snack was the problem. She slept fitfully, woke up groggy, had headaches she blamed on hormones or age. Then her daughter read an article. They made one small change. The kitchen closed at 7 p.m. Maria replaced the snack with herbal tea, sometimes chamomile, sometimes warm water with mint. Within a week, her sleep deepened. She woke clearer. Her morning headaches disappeared. "It felt like my body finally got a full night's rest," she said. Not just her mind, but her heart too. Late-night food isn't just about digestion, it's about protection. So tonight, ask yourself, is this bite a comfort or a delay? Because when you give your heart permission to rest, it often wakes up stronger than you remember. Your heart has carried so much. Even when your mornings were rushed, even when you forgot to pause, it didn't complain. It just kept beating, quietly, faithfully. But maybe now it's asking for something different, not a miracle, just a little more care before the day begins. A glass of water, a stretch before the scroll, a softened first sip. If even one of these shifts felt like yours, you're not alone. You're simply beginning again. Quick question: which habit do you already do? Or want to try tomorrow? Leave a comment. Someone else might need to see it. And if your mornings are part of your healing, you're in the right place. We're here every week. Soft science, quiet strength, gentle steps forward. Subscribe if that feels right. We'll walk together.